Hello, this is Anirudh Singh. You are on for CS205 presenting the third lab experiment for Unix architecture, where we have to explain again branching and looping statements through various application programs. The first program in the list is how to find a factorial of a number. The program code is given as such. Uh, So this is the program for entering the factorial of a number. Basically, to find the factorial of a number, we have to multiply the number by itself and all the numbers that are preceding behind it. So basically, we have to create a for loop and assign the value as I minus minus, and we have to multiply by itself, and we get the factorial. The output is suppose we enter 4 or 5. As we know, 5 factorial is 120. The answer is correct, hence the program has been verified. The second program is where we have to find the average of marks of a given exam. For example, the program. So this is the program where we have to enter subject marks of 7 subjects, and after we enter the 7 subjects marks, the sum is it is stored in an array, and the sum is calculated. So the sum has been calculated over here, and the average has been taken out by divided by 7, as the total number of subjects are 7. So we get the average. The output is over here. Suppose 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. So the total average is we get is total is 89, the sum of all the 7 numbers, and this average is 12. The third question is we have to find the Fibonacci of a number. So the program is this is the Fibonacci number. Fibonacci number is suppose for example a number is 0, so the Fibonacci is the consecutive of further 2 consecutive digits, the sum of the further 2 consecutive digits will be a Fibonacci series. Suppose 1 1 2 5 2 3 5. So if you want to find a series, the program is given over here. The output is so suppose we enter iron 4, so the output has been given 0 1 2 3. Now the next program states we have to find an Armstrong of a number. The program is Armstrong of a number is basically, suppose the number is xyz, so the place value of the respective digits have to be added along to form the number itself. Suppose 153, so the value has to be squared, and suppose 153, so the 150 is a 3-digit number, so 1 cube plus 5 cube plus 3 cube will give equivalently 153. So you have to check whether the number is Armstrong or not. We check by adding the squares of the number and equating the sum to the original number that we have entered over here. The output is suppose I enter number 153. As we know, 153 is an Armstrong number. It will show an Armstrong number. One second. So as we enter, as we compile, we put the value. So we see 154 is not an Armstrong number. So the next program states we have to find the perfect number. A perfect number is where the factors of the number instead of the number itself, when added together, form the number itself. The program is this is the program. So we find the factors by dividing each number preceding the number itself by forming a loop and finding whether the mod will be 0 or not, and then adding the values stored in an array and checking whether it's equivalent to the sum. If it is, it's a perfect number. So output is suppose I enter number 6, so 6 is a perfect number. If I enter suppose 7 is not a perfect number. The next program states whether the number is prime or not. So basically we just have to see whether it has factors on other than 1 or itself by applying a for loop in I minus minus. The program is this is the program. So if we find a number that is other than 1 or the number itself, it is not prime, otherwise it is prime. Output, mm, suppose I enter number 101. 101 is a prime number, so it should display as a prime number. Yes, 101 is a prime number, and suppose I enter 6. So 6 is not a prime number since it is divisible by 2. The next program, we have to find the series of a given number. So the program is vi sh. So we have to find the series. Basically, we have to enter a number, and the program window, it will find the sum of the squares of and add it together to form the series. So the output is, suppose I enter number 6. The sum of the series will automatically become 91, as it will go 1 square plus 2 square plus 3 square plus 4 square plus 5 square plus 6 square. Now the next program is we have to find the average grades. So the program is vi grade not sh. So these are the grades where we have to enter the marks, and when we enter the marks, you have to calculate the average, and by using if conditions, you have to place the average marks in particular conditions by giving grade A, grade B, grade C, etc., etc. So the output is I suppose I enter 4, 6, 8. So I get grade F because I failed in all the subjects, but I actually pass. The next program and the last program is where we have to find we have to find electricity bill by converting the number of units into rupees. So the program is vi. As you can see, we have already defined how much a unit costs. So we just multiply the units into the number of units into the price. So output is, suppose I enter the number units is 56, so the amount I get automatically is 28 rupees. So hence the video has been finished. Thank you for watching this presentation.